Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. In a previous video, we messed up our wheel stud a bit. Today, we're going to replace that with a brand new one. Should be pretty quick and easy. So we have our one wheel stud that got marred, and then I tried to put a lug nut on it, and it just got worse. I'm just going to replace this. Should hopefully be pretty easy to do. This will kind of explain what we're doing. I also kind of have to modify this. It's a 4-way ball joint separator. It's designed to either push apart a ball joint or push back together things as well. We use a flap disc as a pretend thing. So our stud is pushed in to the wheel and held here. What this is going to do is push this until it comes loose, and then we can get it out. Problem is, this doesn't quite fit. It's just a hair too narrow, even though this is what this is also designed to do. So we're just going to take a little bit of metal off until this will fit down in there. Here we go. Let's remove that. Make this a little easier to get to. Now we can fit the head of our bolt in here and hopefully pry it out of there. Let's find out how that goes. Now that you've seen the stud and we've modified this, we're just going to slide the back behind it, and hopefully this front will just push this out of here. I'm going to tighten down our bolt until we're good and snug. Make sure that's centered. There we go. Yes, I did put on a face mask. Technically, we're putting this under a lot of tension if this doesn't just come loose. We got a bunch of metal parts that can break and get thrown into my face. And I like my face, even if you don't. I'm really trying to do this without taking the brakes off. We'll see if that dream comes true. We're to the point we have quite a bit of tension on this thing, and it's not broken free yet. So I'm gonna keep my hands and face sort of clear of things, because this is all probably very rusted together. And there it went. Heck yeah! Pull our old stud out. Throw that to the side. Grab our new stud. We are going to try and sort of find the same threads. Let me pull you in a little closer. See how this comes out on film. As you can see, there are threads on this. And there are some old grooves that have been worn into this where the threads went. We're going to try and sort of match those up so it fits together. We're just going to flip this backwards now and do the same thing, but we're pressing this way instead of pressing that way. Now that I look at this, I feel like we might have to pull these brakes off to make this happen. Is the room down under here, maybe? Yep, well, let me go get my brake tools. We'll pull this apart for the 50th time. This is going to be a very quick showing of how you do this. I will link a video down in the description of how to do this in a little more detail. Basically, you're just popping some springs off. Maybe you're popping them off. There we go. I'll also link this tool down in the description. It makes it way easier to take drum brakes off. We'll take our other springs off, hold our pin, pop that out of there. Grab our other spring that holds the brake pad on as you get a train horn. Try not to lose our pieces. I'm already down a piece. Where are you at? I'm just going to pull this apart enough that I can get this tool in here. That's good enough. We'll go that way. Not pulling these all the way apart. I'm there, and I think we got room to get this fella in. Yep. There, we got some room to get this in here now. We'll do this just backwards of what we just did. Keep tightening the wrong thing. We'll swap these sides so you can sort of see what's going on. So our stud is pressed up where it is. We've put the point in, and these are holding. And then we will now lose a wrench too, along with all the stuff for my springs. We'll tighten this down. And it should just press. Should. You should just press. Just press. Please, just press. There it went. So this pin is to adjust. We're going to adjust this to the smaller one because we're trying to close things instead of, because we've got a much shorter thing to close now. You could technically do this with an impact, but I kind of like to just feel what's going on here a little more and not just things down to where they're broken. Well, that's all tightened. The lug nut will finish pulling this down. Let's put those brakes back together. We'll show you from the other side. Go check out that other video if you actually want a detailed description of how we're doing this. I've pulled these apart and put them together so many times that I'm sure that the more regular people are tired of watching this. We're just putting all our springs back where we got our springs. That's pretty much all there is to it. This is definitely why I use this tool. It makes this so much easier to do. There we go, everything seems to be back together. Put this back together and see if it fixed our problem. There we go. So hopefully as we torque this down, it will continue to pull it out where it goes. Probably wouldn't hurt to grab a few new lug nuts as well. There's one of these that I can't really get the impact on. Let's give the new one to the new one, huh? Then we'll know. As all of these continue to try and cross thread. Let me go torque wrench this down and do this correctly. Yeah, that actually pulled that tight too. Good. Awesome, that finished pulling down when we put it to the right torque spec. One, I wanted to have all my lugs, and the other was that this was making a clicking noise, which it is now no longer doing, that we've got everything tightened back down. That felt pretty quick and easy to me for once. There's a link down in the description to all the brake tools and stuff we used today. There's also a more detailed video of pulling these brakes apart down there. Drum brakes can be a little intimidating. Hit that like button, subscribe. Now don't forget to go on an adventure, get out there and see the stars!